Well, one of the things that this highlighted was I don't want to say the drain, but the huge part of the budget that the criminal justice system plays, especially on the county side, because of the fact that they have all of the correctional facilities at the county level. Are there things that you think county council can do to address some of that? I know that, obviously you do the appropriations, but are there other things that maybe county council could do?
Yeah, that's one of the things. I'm from manufacturing, I'm from industry, I'm from business, and so my background is continuous improvement, and that's what I think government needs to look at as well. And as an outsider coming back in, as I've done throughout my life, I pick up techniques, tools, education, experience, and I apply it to government. That's what I'm hoping to do in this position. But one thing is evaluating, analyzing our services at the county level. First and foremost, our judicial system is taking up, again, about 2/3. I believe that number is correct, nearly 67, if I remember correctly. I might be off on that, but 67% of the overall budget is focused toward judicial and the judicial system. Do we do that the best? Are we the best at it? How do we compare to other counties? How do we compare to the region? How do we compare to counties across this country in terms of our judicial systems? How do we evaluate it? And I'm sure those evaluations and analysis are taking place, but I'd like to compare and contrast those and then identify why other counties are better at that than we are. There's got to be somebody better. There's probably a lot worse. And so how do we make ourselves a little bit better? And that's what I think I can do on county council.
One of the things that has been talked about a little bit is raising the county option income tax. I believe right now it's at 1%, if I'm not mistaken. Any feelings on raising the income tax?
I do not want to raise taxes.
Okay.
I do not. And I think in these times, particularly in these times, I am not interested in raising taxes. I think that we owe it to our taxpayers, we owe it to the voters, we owe it to our neighbors to find more efficient, more effective ways for this community to provide government services. And when business is having to make those tough decisions, when school systems are making those tough decisions, we better be seeing that in local government as well.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about, at state level, the property tax caps. Talking about writing those into the Constitution. Do you think it's a good idea at this point to write those into the Constitution?
Yes, I do. I do, and that might be that hammer I'm hitting over my head in a couple years as serving. That may come back to haunt me. However, I am convinced that's the right thing to do, and I'll tell you why. Not only just a fundamental belief that we need to figure out how to cap taxes on citizens and taxpayers, but when I get back to that point about economic development, one of the things that we need to do, right, is to become more competitive in the Midwest, in Indiana, in the Northeast Indiana, and in Allen County. What we do when we pass those tax caps is we send that message to businesses, to site selectors all over this country, that they can come to Indiana, and we have been serious enough to put a tax cap in our Constitution that we want business here. Allen County is open for business, and if we put caps on those taxes, we're saying that and we're writing it into the Constitution. I think it's a good thing to do.
Do you think it might be too early from the standpoint of there's still a lot in flux? There's still finding out a little bit about how this is affecting everyone and whether it really is a good idea. Do you think it maybe is a little too early? Or
no. Okay. I mean, at what point do you wait? You wait 4 years, 5 years, 10 years? At this point in time, with the national economy, the competitiveness that we need in Indiana to bring those site selectors to Indiana, now's the time. Put a cap on those taxes so that we get industry locating here. That's what we need to do in the Midwest. So.
Okay. Let's talk about township government.
Yeah.
I believe, I don't know if you mentioned it, but I believe you're either on or were on the St. Joe Township Board.
Presently, I am on the St. Joe Township Advisory Board, and I am president this year on that in that position.
one of the things that the Shepard-Kernan report of a couple of years ago suggested doing away with the township level of government. What are your feelings on that?
Well, I'm opposed to that. I believe the township government, one of the things that makes Allen County unique, and you've heard this and people that live in this county know this, is that we've got one of the largest counties in the entire East Coast. I mean, from the Mississippi east, we have one of the largest land mass counties. That makes us unique from that standpoint, because we've got residents and individuals that want to be represented, and by eliminating that, the government that is closest to the people, to eliminate that and have them to actually come into the county and have to do what they can do in their neighborhood does not make good sense, I believe. Now, I understand they're saying that in the report that was done, that business is concerned that there's too many forms of government in the state of Indiana. I would be intrigued to find out that a business would not select Allen County because of township government. I would be fascinated, because when business looks around, they're going to say, A, it's the cheapest, it's the most efficient, it works off of volunteers for the most part, for volunteer fire departments and such. I'm intrigued by that. So what the concept is you eliminate township government and let county take it, or let the state have some of it, and all of a sudden you've got a bloated bureaucracy at a bigger level, and I think that's why government, or why business doesn't want to locate in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I'll just throw this out.
Sure.
Should government be involved in port relief?
Well, that's a great question. I guess I've never thought of it that way. They're there. You mean should township government
Should
or
township
government,
yeah,
or government in itself? Yeah,
township government.
government. Okay.
Yeah.
Township government. I think so. And I'll tell you why. What I've seen and witnessed and experienced in this position is that an individual comes in and we'll do an analysis and an evaluation of their need. We don't have offices and offices and offices and rows of cubes and tons of paperwork. We have an individual that basically sits down with an individual, and they'll ask them, have you checked this resource? Have you gone to this particular, have you received food stamps from the state? Have you received, and they'll go through each of those one-on-one, and then they'll make an assessment based on filling out a form and such. Should we give, the trustee has the ability to say, you know what, you've gotten plenty. You've not gone out and tried to do other things. That is, I think, a beautiful thing. On the other hand, that trustee can look at that individual and say, you've had a tough time. Something really tough has landed on you, and even though you've done everything right, you need some help. We can give you some help. And that's common sense. That's local government. It works. So, long answer to a great question. Thanks.